Freestyle Repertory Theater and Synergy Theater proudly present Right Away. It's a show, it's a jam, it's the best of both worlds. Please welcome your hosts to the screen, Laura Livingston and Laura Valpy.
Hello, everyone. I'm Laura Livingston, the Artistic Director of Freestyle Repertory Theater in New York City.
And I'm Laura Valpy, company member of Freestyle Repertory Theater in New York City.
Tonight's show, Right Away, is a co-production between Freestyle Repertory Theater and Synergy Theater in Walnut Creek, California. Two companies divided by a continent, but united in the firm belief that improvisation is a very important theatrical art form.
Yes, and this show started during the pandemic. Obviously, it's a virtual show. And now that live theater is coming back in person, it's amazing. And we're so excited about that. However, going through this process, we realized how amazing and awesome it is to connect with people on this platform, because we can connect all across countries in the world. And this is why we're here. If you guys keep showing up, we're going to keep doing this show. We want to inspire writers of all sorts. Spontaneity can be part of a writer's practice. And through the show, we've had hundreds of monologues and scenes and not 45 minute plays, but plays that took 45 minutes to write, come into fruition. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. Here's how the show works. We have 4 playwrights here tonight who will have 45 minutes to write a brand spanking new play based on suggestions from the rest of us here sitting in the audience and doing the jam together.
Yep. So while the writers are off writing for that 45 minutes, everyone in the audience, that is you all out there, you are all invited to play some improv writing games with Laura Livingston and myself. And we think that you will want to use paper and a pen or pencil. Do not attempt to be typing and zooming and all that at the same time. So we're going to be actually writing with hands. That's our firm suggestion. That way you can see what's going on. And then after each game, after each exercise, we will do our best to hear as many of you read what you wrote as we can. So that is the time we encourage you to volunteer without even considering if what you wrote is good, because this is just a jam. We are just jamming. We're giving it a shot. We're here for fun. So we really encourage you to volunteer and share your work tonight. So we're going to do all that stuff. And then after the 45 minutes, the playwrights will return, and then they will present the world premiere reading of the new work that they just wrote.
Yeah. And before we introduce those playwrights, just want to go over a few things. Those of you who are participating live via Zoom, we've asked you to turn your camera and your microphone off for now, but in a few minutes when we start the writing jam, we would love it if you turn your video back on. It's really helpful to the energy of the show. It's helpful to me and Laura Valpy to see if people are done writing. And it's very supportive of your fellow writers. It is being live streamed on YouTube and Facebook. So if you are a criminal or if you're in a witness protection program or something, we understand if you're keeping your camera off. But otherwise, the laughing, the clapping, the thumbs up that we can all see just makes the show that much more fun.
All right. And then lastly, we invite you to open up the chat feature. So it should be at the bottom of your screen, probably in the middle there. We will be using that to get some suggestions for our playwrights. So speaking of playwrights, let us jump in and introduce tonight's writers.
Absolutely.
All right, sweet.
Our first playwright is starting her 4th season with the Monday Night Playground, where her short play 3 centimeters per second was staged this spring and won the audience favorite award. And her Lucy in the Clouds, which originated during an evening of Right Away, was included in the Dragon's Egg short play incubator. And it was done last month, and you can still see it on her website. Please welcome Lisa Gay Thompson. Lisa.
Hello, and thank you for that nice introduction.
Well, I saw it, and having been, you can actually, if you wanted to go onto, everyone's invited to join our Facebook page right away afterwards, who's been a part of this. And I actually also put the link not only to where the version that Dragon's Eggs did occurred, but the original reading that I believe Ken Adams and I did of just this minuscule little 5-minute play. It was so exciting to see that grow out of that.
It's very exciting. Yes.
Awesome.
And hopefully we'll have another little miracle born today.
You never know. Miracles happen all the time. All right, cool. Thanks, Lisa. Get on out of here. I'm going to introduce our next writer. Ken Adams is the artistic director of Synergy Theater, the co-producer of tonight's show, and he produced many other groundbreaking online improv shows during the pandemic, which you can see on Synergy Theater's YouTube channel. Currently, Synergy is developing Spontaneous Hitchcock to be presented in person this October at the Lesher Center in Walnut Creek, California. And they've just launched an initiative called Theater Smarts to bring Bay Area kids to the theater for interactive shows and improv classes. I've been seeing a little bit about that, Ken, which that sounds so cool, so awesome. I mean, what lucky kids.
Well, thank you very much. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
Karen, I know Synergy has announced their new season. You've got other formats coming up that you want to tell us about?
Sure. We're starting off with Spontaneous Hitchcock, which is a full-length play in the style of Alfred Hitchcock. Then we're doing Spontaneous Myth and Magic, which is going to be a new anthology of ancient mythology as we make up a community together in the mythology of their race. And then we are doing The Mating Game, which is a play in the style of the dating game television show. So if life were the dating game, how would it work? And then finally, we rounded off with a roll of the dice, in which each new scene of the play, the characters and the location are determined by rolling 6 dice, and the various combinations dictate who enters and where the scene takes place. So that's all part of our 22-23 season. And anyone in the area, come check us out. It's cool.
It sounds really cool. It sounds like so much fun, not only to see, but probably to play in as well. All that good stuff.
Absolutely. Check them out. Why don't you?
Check them out. Oh, well done.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
We also have here tonight the co-director of MOPCO Improv Theater from Schenectady, New York. MOPCO is developing a whole bunch of new improv shows for in-person performance starting in September, I believe. Kat Coppett, she's the author of Training to Imagine, practical improvisational theater techniques to enhance communication, creativity, leadership, and learning. And she also developed for us at Freestyle Rep and for loads of people worldwide, the improvised musical full-length format, Spontaneous Broadway, that has brought so many pleased audiences to so many improv theater companies around the world. Kat, it's great to have you here. You want to tell us about your startup in September?
Yes. We are going to be doing the classic format that I discovered you through and you trained me in, theater sports on Saturday nights, and then a whole bunch of other things, including book club, which is we get a suggestion of a book title from the audience, make up a book that we read while we tell you the story of the characters of that book club and their lives, which somehow have something to do with each other, it usually turns out. We're going to do Bollocks Manor, which is a long-form improv show in the style of Downton Abbey and all sorts of other things.
Bollocks Manor. That's awesome.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you, Kat.
Yeah. All right. Last but certainly not least, our guest artist tonight is Chris Harcum. He is an award-winning actor, playwright, and filmmaker, and he is one half of the long-form improv duo Pedro and Chris, and he's a founding member of Elephant Run District. His comedy, The Big Pivot, just won the Best Lockdown Short Film Award from the World Indie Film Awards. That sounds fancy and cool.
Please welcome him, Chris Harcum.
Yes, please. Yeah, pop on here, Chris.
Hello. I'm
Hello.
excited to be here.
We are excited to have you. Oh my goodness. We love having our guests, artists pop in. Tell us about this lockdown short film, the Big Pivot, a little bit.
Oh, sure. So, well, actually, it's won a bunch of different little awards, and they all have like different little things. And when you see like the film festival, you go like, oh, this would work better. So, like, if it's like best short comedy, you might have better than best short film. You're kind of
Yeah,
specifying a little bit.
totally.
So at that particular film festival, I saw best lockdown short, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'll try that, because the characters start off in Zoom and then they break out of that into other things. So
Oh,
I think
fun.
that's cool. And my gambit worked.
Excellent.
Well done. Well played. Well played.
Oh, thank you very
All
much.
right. Awesome. Well, you stay here, Chris.
Okay.
I think it's time, right, Livingston, to
Sure.
bring everyone else back on.
All the
All right,
playwrights
awesome.
come back on, and audience members, if you haven't already clicked on your chat feature,
Yes, thank you.
they're going to be asking you for some suggestions
Yeah.
to get their play started. Lisa, what would you like to get from our beautiful audience to get you inspired tonight?
Well, I think I would like to hear some words that you hope you would never need to be in a position to say.
Whoa. All right. So audience, that's your cue to, if you have an idea for a suggestion, type it in the chat. All right, here are some. I'll just spit some out as they come in. You have cancer. I'm just not that into you. The volcano is ready to blow. And pardon me if you can hear my almost 5-year-old from the other room saying things as well. There's no Wi-Fi here. Oh, geez. I killed your puppy. My socks are wet. Mom is on the roof and she won't come down.
There we go.
Any strike your fancy?
Those are great.
Mom is attached to the trunk. Pizza's
I'll take,
overcooked.
yeah, mom is on the roof and she won't
Mom
come.
is awesome.
I start having regret at this point in the show already, because I think like
Yep.
we're losing all of these. You know, we have to like keep the chat after all the zooming.
Yeah, totally.
Person
All
up.
right, who was next? Ken, I believe, right?
All right.
Yeah.
I call this the famous duo mashup. So here's how it works. I'm going to ask you, the audience, to type into the chat famous duos. They could be like superhero duos or musical duos or literary duos, famous duos. Then I'll take one from one and one from another, and I'll write that show.
Yes.
All right.
All
So there we go. Ginger and Fred, Sonny and Cher. That's the way to do it. Simon and Garfunkel, mac and cheese. Tom and Jerry, Batman and Robin. All right. Oh my goodness. These are very, very good. Okay.
Excellent, Sybil Faulty. Oh,
I think, let's see. I will take, oh my goodness. All right. Forgive me. There's too many to choose from. I will take, let's see. How about Batman and Fred Astaire? Batman
Nice.
and Fred Astaire.
Batman and Fred Astaire. Before we get too far, there was a Ben and Jerry and a Tom and Jerry. I think Jerry and Jerry would be yeah. All right, Batman and Fred Astaire.
Jerry,
Right.
Jerry.
All right.
all right, Kat. What can we do for you?
I need, inspired by our rehearsal last week, I need an object and a genre. And you can give me one or both. Feel free to give a suggestion for one.
All right, there's horror and tomato,
You pick a
toothpick.
Western,
Western. Yeah, go ahead, Kat.
ghost and pineapple. I think let's see, mystery and floss, comedy and diva cup Last Will, Home Shopping, Never Mystery, and Treasure Chest, Murder Mystery, Jigsaw Puzzle, Romance, and Water Bottle, Film Noir, and Cream Cheese. Okay, I think I will take Ghost, and I'm going to take Ghost and Tomato. Thank you.
Nice.
and tomato.
Ghost and tomato. All right, Chris Harcum, what would you like for your suggestion tonight?
Oh, I've been thinking a little bit about relationships, and I was thinking maybe if I could get some something that you might have wished a former partner or spouse would have noticed about you, would have appreciated about you, something that went unnoticed before. Oh, my eye color, absolutely. You have beautiful eyes, Madeline. Let's see how pretty you are, of course, Joelle. Hair flip, very nice. That you are amazing, of course. Your knitting skills, ooh, that's really good. Any others? Your generosity, patience. I love the whole comic timing. My ability to sense a lie. Was that really something they should have appreciated? Gifts I give. Maybe I'll go with yeah, Neil's humility. Let's see. I think I'm gonna go with the knitting. I think that's a really good, simple one. Thank you very much,
Awesome.
everyone.
All right, very good. Real quick recap. Yeah. Who's
All right,
first?
let's
Lisa.
start with Lisa, what did you get, Lisa?
Oh, you're on mute, Lisa.
Mom is up on the roof and she won't come down.
Awesome. Ken?
Batman and Fred Astaire.
Yes. Kat
Ghost and Tomato.
and Chris.
Knitting skills.
Awesome. All right, writers, in a few moments, we are going to send you away for 45 minutes. I've got my little handy dandy timer here, but please keep your phones nearby. Keep your eyes out for texts because we'll send you time reminders, a little countdown situation. But remember, whatever you write will be right. All right, on your marks, get set. Right away. All right, there they go. Oh, I better mute myself for a second. Livingston, go ahead.
All right, folks. Kat, you're still on screen if you're interested. Everyone else, get back on screen and let's start off this jam here. And as our writers are getting themselves set up and hopefully tuning us out so they can think, just like to say hello to all of you. It's so great to have you here. Some here for the first time. If you haven't already, I think Laura Valpy said that most people prefer to use pencil and paper so you can have your eyes on the screen rather than covering us up with your computer stuff. And we are streaming on YouTube and Facebook. So, you know, if you're importing exotic animals that you shouldn't be, or burying a body or something, you can keep us turned off. But other than that, we love to have you on screen and really joining in.
Awesome. I'm going to send a quick message. Gabrielle, I got a message from Lisa that when you were chatting, I think you were possibly accidentally only chatting to Lisa. Okay, you saw it. So that if you, okay, great. She just wanted me to pass along the message. Thank you. Okay, great. Let's see. Yeah, go ahead. What, Livingston? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead, Phelps, if you want.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so now if you move your cursor to the upper right of your screen, you'll see some options for how our windows appear on your screen, like gallery view or speaker view. Of course, you can choose whichever option you want whenever you want to. It's not going to affect what the rest of us see. So that is, yep, just want to point that out. But I think it's time to start the jam, right, Laura?
Yep, let's do this. Okay.
Let's do this.
Same thing. there are two rules in improvisation. Always say yes. And when we're writing, we take that to mean always say yes to your own first idea. We share ideas, and sometimes it takes a bit of thought to open that generosity to our own selves. And always help each other out. And that's what we're here to do. The spontaneity thing is the secret to improv. Even if what you're writing doesn't seem to be what you wish you were writing right now, it's what we want to hear. We want to hear as many different interpretations of these prompts, as many different ways that people write as possible. It's all going to be great. With that as an end, not to make anybody nervous or anything, I've prepared a pop test. I'm going to ask some questions, and I would like for you to write the answers down quickly. Is everybody ready? Here we go. What is the opposite of a cracker with cheese? Question 2, here it comes. How many times have I told you? Here comes question number 3. How is an eraser like a loud noise? Question 4, who invented Windows? And a follow-up question, why? And the 5th and final question, I think you all have studied for this. This is amazing. I see people aren't cheating or anything. It's wonderful. You're all fabulous students. 5th and final question is, when does push come to shove? And for extra credit, one more question. What do you call people who are at the same time as you? Okay, let's have like 5 more seconds, folks. And I would love to hear some of these. And Neil, Madeline, Sam, and Nancy, if you want to pop your videos on to let us know if you want to read, that would be great. Otherwise, I'll try to keep track of you, but it does help us to see you. All right, who does want to read the answers to these questions? All right, Karen, why don't I read the questions and you tell us the answers? What's the opposite of a cracker with cheese?
Popcorn with paprika.
Yes, absolutely. How many times have I told you?
3 times.
Yes. How is an eraser like a loud noise?
Makes everything else disappear.
Makes sense. Who invented Windows and why?
Morgan Freeman, he wanted some cool air.
When does push come to shove?
When the rubber meets the road.
Yeah, yeah. And what do you call people who are at the same time as you?
Like-minded.
Ah, yes, excellent. Absolutely. Who else wants to read theirs? Or should I just?
Sure. I'll
Yeah,
go
okay,
for it.
please. All right, you ready? Here it goes. What's the opposite of a cracker with cheese?
Cheese with cracker. Ah,
How many times have I told you?
2 times.
How is an eraser like a loud noise?
It screams delete.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Who invented Windows and why?
A window inventor to see through the building.
Yes. When does push come to shove?
Before shove.
And what do you call people who are at the same time as you?
My time pals.
Excellent. So Neil, if you want to, if I just saw that Neil's camera doesn't work. So I think you can do one of those hand raise things if you want to read yours. In the meantime, I think we had other hands on screen coming up here. Yeah, Joelle. Just,
Okay.
yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yep. What's the opposite of a cracker with cheese?
Jam with tortilla chip.
How many times have I told you?
Enough.
How is an eraser like a loud noise?
It blocks your thoughts.
Who invented Windows and why?
Bill Gates, because he was a big nerd.
When does push come to shove?
Push comes to, this is a serious answer. Push comes to shove, when you cross the line, disrespect me or my loved ones, mess with my money, livelihood, or happiness.
I heard that loud and clear. What do you call people who are at the same time as you?
Late.
Sadly, I can relate. Speaking of time, I'm going to jump in here and point out that the writers only have 35 minutes and a few seconds left to write. So I'm going to send them a time reminder. In the meantime, what we maybe didn't mention is that while they're writing, we are going to be sending them additional suggestions that they must then incorporate into the play that they are now writing. So I will send them the reminder that they have, well, by the time I write it, 34 minutes left. Let's send them a suggestion inspired by this awesome pop quiz that Livingston said to us. So let's call it a line of dialogue, something that you just wrote as an answer. If you think that you'd like the writers to use that as a line of dialogue for one of their characters, just add it in the chat there, and I will get the text going to them.
Here we go.
Yep.
Here's what we've got. If you'd like to share audio only, just chat here. Yeah, no, that's all.
That was me. Nobody's listening. Ivan the Millsmith in 6/20/18. Nice. I'm going to go with no, nobody's listening. I'm going to grab that and say it's a line of dialogue. One of their characters says, shh, nobody's listening.
Immediately.
And then we're going to jump into the next jam exercise. Is
Sounds.
someone asking a question?
I don't think so.
Okay, great. Shh. Nobody's listening. All right, let's see if I can multitask. The next exercise that we are going to do, I'm calling stage directions. That's the one we're doing next, right? Yep.
Yep.
So when writing a play or what have you, there's action. I love writing stage directions. You get some action of the character, and it also can tell you a little bit about the surroundings, the setting perhaps. So I'm going to feed some pretty generic lines of dialogue, and then you write the the stage direction. Like I just said, try to get some action in there, what the character might be doing. And if we get information about the setting as well, bonus. So here's a quick example. Livingston, I'll give you a line of dialogue and then just say out loud what your stage direction would be. The line of dialogue could be just, oh my, it's getting late.
And then I would write a stage direction like, she said, walking to the counter and opening the fridge, looking around for something to serve her large family.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'll give you a bit more time than some of those short pop quiz ones. I'll only do 3 or 4 lines of dialogue. All right. First line of dialogue. Finally, I'm alone. Second line. Well, this could take all night. Third line. What the heck is this doing here? One last one. Okay, here goes nothing. All right, few more seconds. All right. Who would like to read what they wrote? Maybe someone who didn't read before?
Oh, and Neil and Patty, I know you're keeping your cameras off, but if you just want to speak up and tell us, we'll be listening up.
Absolutely. Thank
Also,
you.
Nancy and Maury and Sam, if you can't turn your cameras on, speak up and let us know who you are and if you'd like to read. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Who is going to read?
I'll read.
Okay, great. Gabrielle, I'll say
No
the
one
line
else
of
has-
dialogue. And
Okay.
then, yeah, let's hear what you got. All right, the first line was, finally, I'm alone.
She rustles through her purse to grab her phone.
Well, this could take all night.
He gestures to the clown struggling to blow up the bouncy house.
What the heck is this doing here?
She grabs the guitar capo from her husband's nightstand.
And lastly, okay, here goes nothing.
He launches himself over the bridge on the thin bungee cord.
Woo! Wow, each of those had like such details about the setting, what was going on in just a few words. Wow, nice, Gabrielle. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else want to pop in for this one? Or dying to
Neil
read
will
your
read.
pop quiz? Neil?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, here we go. I'll say the dialogue. You say the stage direction. Finally, I'm alone.
She looks audience-ward, realizes there are people out there, and screams.
Well, this could take all night.
She grabs her sledgehammer and smashes the Rubik's Cube to bits.
What the heck is this doing here?
He pulls a human head out of his bowling bag.
And finally, okay, here goes nothing.
She takes a deep breath and cuts off her ponytail.
Cool. These are like, man, there's so much in each of these. That's awesome.
I
Thank
find
you for
myself
sharing, Neil.
in both of them, wondering what the second draft is going to be.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Filling in.
I'm checking our time. Sorry.
Yeah, we got 27 minutes left. I think they can wait a bit, right? Because
I think they can wait a bit.
Patty's microphone is on, which makes me think she's ready to read. Is that true, Patty?
I had a question.
Yeah,
Sure.
Were those four stage directions supposed to be related to each other, or are they just each stands alone?
You know what? I did not clarify before starting the exercise, which is a nice reminder, but also kind of cool that I didn't. In my head, I was going to say, yeah, it's one character in one place. And hearing those, they could be completely separate, like just an exercise of, oh, this is the stage direction that comes after. So anything goes.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you reading?
If I have to.
You have to.
All
You have
right.
to, Patty. Okay, here we go. Finally, I'm alone.
Hold on a minute. Oh, here it is.
Sure. Okay.
She reaches and opens the wine cellar and looks for the most expensive bottle, the one he refuses to open.
Yes. Well, this could take all night.
Because as she looked at the labels, she realized they were all in French.
What the heck is this doing here?
She couldn't believe it. The only corkscrew was the broken one.
Okay, here goes nothing.
So she held it against the counter and whacked it open.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Patty.
Very glad.
I see it. I see it all. It's so clear. Thank you.
Valpy, I've just sent them a 25-minute reminder.
Awesome.
Actually, it's already time for another suggestion. What I would like is a stage direction, and I would like for it to involve a prop. If you're not in theater, a prop means anything an actor handles. So an object, basically. A stage direction that involves an object. And what we're getting here are,
And go ahead and put those into the chat if you have an idea. Yeah. This will be a chat version one.
All right. Ooh, I don't have any yet. Do you, Valps?
I don't have any, although I love that Patty wrote earlier. They said it was a planet, but really a slice of chorizo. That's an object. All right, let's see. Lisa says she pulled out a 1920s almanac and began typing it word for word. He pulled a flower out of his pocket and smelled it. Okay, all right. I give it like 10 more seconds if any more are coming in. Balancing a large wheel of Gouda on his head. All right, what do you want to go with, Liz?
I'm gonna say, she delicately removes the wrapper from the painting's surface. I was already gonna say, here comes more. She sprays the entire room with perfume. Oh man, see, this is when we wait, we can't part with any of these.
Exactly.
I'm going to go with I don't know what I'm going with here. Ken always gives us the worst, most derailing suggestions. So I'm going to do that to him. Character balances a large wheel of Gouda on their head.
Great.
I'm
Stage direction balances a.
Are you typing it? Are you sending
I
it?
am. I've got it. Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Okay. Did anyone else want to read with Valps? I didn't want to shortchange anyone. If I don't see any hands go up though. Yes, Valpy, Jean is going to read her scene with you.
Woohoo! Okay, awesome. Here we go.
So mine are not connected.
Great, great,
Okay.
great. All right, here we go. Finally, I'm alone.
This one's really gross. She said while popping a strange new zit in the mirror.
Well, this could take all night. Maybe they are related. No, sorry. Well, this could take all night.
As she threw the frog in the cauldron.
Oh, cool. What the heck is this doing here?
As she pushed her mother-in-law off the sofa.
Okay, here goes nothing.
Oh, I missed the live audience response.
I know.
Okay.
I didn't. Yeah, okay, here goes nothing.
Someone had the same thing as me, similar thought, as she bungee jumped off the Brooklyn Bridge.
Oh, fun.
That was very cool.
Oh my gosh.
Something awesome and similar. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Cool. Yay. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Lisa says she had, as she kicked the corpse off the couch.
Ooh.
All right. We got I've got another game I'd like to play with you that Laura Valpy and I have named Dueling Styles Dialogue. And the idea is I've written a character's lines, and I've written them kind of in the style of a Victorian melodrama. And what I would like for you to do is I'll pause after each line. I'd like for you to write the response of a second character. So I've already written one character. You'll write the second character in the scene. And yours could match my style, hopefully even doing it better, which is Victorian melodrama, or you can pick another style. And if you've already thought of one, that's the one. That is perfect. I would suggest as we're doing this, it might be helpful if your character doesn't ask a lot of questions, because my responses are already written, so I can't answer them. And also I won't know them. All right, here we go. The play takes place in a living room, or in my case, a dark parlor. My character says, Francesca, after all these years, explain why you've returned to darken our happiest moments. And your character responds in their style. Here comes my character again. My character responds, you can't mean it. Did you bring the... My character says, you've always loathed Reginald. And before you can finish, mine says, pull yourself together, you fool. My character says, wait, what's that in your hand? And the final thing my character says is, alas, has it come to this? And you got 10 more seconds. All right. Laura Valby, they've got 16 minutes left.
All right, excellent. I will compose a text and
I have a
let's-
suggestion I'd like to ask for.
Great.
I'd like to ask for some kind of theatrical effect, you know, like involving lights or sound or shifting of sets, but I would like for it to include that wheel of Gouda.
All right. A theatrical effect involving the wheel of Gouda.
Oh, and I just saw, Joelle, I just saw you ask for a bit more time between the prompts. Sorry.
Wah, wah.
You can have more time to finish your lines. Everyone else can type in a suggestion.
Melting cheese strobes. I love that because it's kind of vague. The spotlight on the wheel of Gouda slowly fades to the strains of Barry Manilow.
Oh, you know what?
Globs of exploding cheese.
Oh, Valps, it's a lot to type, but I am in love with the spotlight pins, the wheel of Gouda slowly fades.
That's what's happening. I'm writing it right now.
Yeah. Globs of
Third suggestion. All right.
All right. While Laura Valby is sending that, who wants to read this experiment in dueling dialogues? EJ, have we heard from you today?
No, I'll do it. I
All
don't
right.
know I'm not sure if I ended up dueling or involving myself in the dialogue. We'll see.
Yeah, I wondered if it would be more of a mirror or what.
Yeah.
It's entirely an experiment. Here we go. In the darkened parlor, Francesca, after all these years, explain why you've returned to darken our happiest moments.
Please don't look at me. Pass me that potato sack. I'm naked.
You can't mean it. Did you bring the...
Yes. The string of sausages. I'm wearing it. It's around my neck.
You always loathed Reginald.
Well, it's the way he combs those 2 strands of hair across his enormous pate.
Pull yourself together, you fool.
Sorry.
Wait, what's that in your hand?
Oh, Mrs. Dash seasoning for the sausages. It's salt-free.
Alas, has it come to this?
Yes. Talking about condiments and seasoning and ignoring what's really true between us.
End of scene.
End of story.
I would... Yeah, it's hard to do an opposite.
It's hard to, go off on another tangent.
Yeah. Did anyone, I want to hear one. If somebody used a different style of dialogue, I definitely must hear it.
I kind of did.
Patty, is that you talking to me?
Yeah, I kind of did. But
All right.
it follows that.
Okay, let's hear Patty's, and then was it Jean who also raised her hand? Okay, all right, Patty, here we go. Francesca, after all these years, explain why you've returned to darken our happiest moments.
Mama, I couldn't miss your birthday.
You can't mean it. Did you bring the...
Of course, of course. I picked up lasagna from Branzino's.
You've always loathed Reginald.
Yes, but he can cook, so I overlook a lot.
Pull yourself together, you fool.
I've always been a sucker for an Italian chef.
Wait, what's that in your hand?
The Parmesan Reggiano.
Alas, has it come to this?
Yes, Mama, watch me. I'm opening it and pouring it out on the floor. Happy birthday.
Well done, well done.
Yeah, you were kind of leading my style almost there. Jean, let's hear yours.
Okay. You sure you're ready? Okay.
No, I'm not ready. That's the way I like it. Here we go. Francesca, after all these years, explain why you've returned to darken our happiest moments.
I have been to the future.
You can't mean it. Did you bring the...
Yes, the ketchup.
You've always loathed Reginald.
He is now my baby daddy.
Pull yourself together, you fool.
Easy now. Do not rub my battery tip.
Wait, what's that in your hand?
iPhone 2471.
Alas, has it come to this?
Yes, I'm unplugging you.
Yes. Oh my gosh, so much fun. I'm going to push us forward to the next exercise because we've done a lot of call and response, prompting. And this next exercise, we're going to let you go for a while. We challenge you to write a TED Talk. And if you don't know what a TED Talk is, or to get your mind wrapped around that idea, it is usually meant to be informative and or inspirational in some way. So you are the expert, as if you are the one giving, you could imagine you're some character, that's fine, but you're the one giving this TED Talk, and we're just going to let you write. I will give a couple ideas of titles, but if you've come up with you can come up with your own title for a TED Talk. And just go for it. I have to say, it can be ridiculous. It can be serious. It can be whatever. Anything you say is right. We do not actually expect you to be experts. This is the fun part. All right. So come up with your own title, or have I been muted for a long time?
No.
Okay. That was weird. Okay, sorry. I've put in the chat 2 possible titles. All I Need to Know, I learned from my pet tarantula, or The Transformative Science of Balloon Animals. So if you haven't come up with your own, you can use one of those. And let's see how we are on the time. I'll let you go for about 5 minutes or so. Maybe 4, maybe 3. Go for it. Let's do 30 more seconds of writing, 30 more seconds. All right, see if you can wrap it up. I've just sent the writers their last time warning, probably the last time warning, 5 minutes left. We want to send them one more suggestion as well. Just so as not to interrupt you all, I went through what people had already written. And with the pushing of the mother-in-law off the couch and the corpse over the couch and everything, I'm just going to go with a character pushes someone else. Is that cool? Are we okay with that? All right, great. Character pushes. And then I want to hear some TED Talks. I want to learn something, be inspired. So who wants to go for it? And if it's not finished, great. All right, Lisa, I see Lisa's hand. All right, what's your title?
The Transformative Science of Balloon Animals.
Awesome.
I want to take you back to a seemingly innocent day at my son's birthday, his 8th birthday, 12 years ago. We hired a balloon artist, and throughout the party, balloons went from long oblong tubes to animals. And let's just pause there for a moment. A balloon, by nature, is not an animal. And yet, at this moment, they transformed into something different. We've all seen it. A dog, a shark, a mongoose. But here's where it gets interesting. As the balloon changed shape, I noticed the kids watching would slightly tilt their heads, shoulders would raise, noses would crinkle. Something else was transpiring during this party entertainment. And this is where it gets fascinating. These children were able to tap into this shape anytime we named the animal for years later. Why do I tell you this? Because you too do not have to be stuck. You can simply transform your energy by blowing up a balloon and morphing into it. Thank you.
Woo! That's great.
Very well done. That was wonderful. Thank you for sharing, Lisa. Anyone else? Anyone else? Please jump in. Go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, Karen Harold, read yours. I want to hear it.
It's not bad. It doesn't matter.
Well, I didn't get very far.
That's okay.
I mean, I think, oh well, I'm going for
You have
it.
3 minutes.
This is me showing you the ugly underbelly of me. Neighbors as therapist. Every morning I would walk out of my house to get my mail, maybe an electric bill, a used car ad, or a person offering to clean my vents in my house. Larry, the postal carrier, came every day at precisely 9:55. So everyone in our block would come out and see what the latest and greatest thing that had landed in our box. To the right, Mrs. Lewis, a retired school teacher. To the left, Mr. Murphy, the Fuller brush man. We touched base each day, each of us, even through the rough times. And that's where I stopped.
Beautiful. It's wonderful. Karen, thank you. Thank you. All right, who else? Who else?
I got something.
All right, we're listening. We're all ears. Thank you, Neil.
The title of my TED Talk is All I Need to Know I Learned from My Pet Tarantula. Sometimes you just have to say, bite me. Thank you.
I want to say that I just sent them a last suggestion, which was one that somebody already made earlier. I'm just saying that the play ends as perfume fills the stage.
Excellent.
Nice. Again, to have time for this, to hear what people wrote.
Okay, great. I'm just showing the countdown. So pretty soon I'll tell them to come back, but go ahead, Laura.
All right, let's hear one more. I got to hear one more. Oops.
Yep, that's our time. I'll tell them to come back, but yeah, let's hear one more.
Gabriella, Gabrielle, excuse me. We haven't heard yours and your camera's on. So that means we're meant to hear you. Give us your pearls of wisdom.
Are you me, Gabriel? I'm so sorry. My camera's been on, I think, but and I completely screwed up. I didn't do the exercise correctly. So
that's perfect.
Oh, I just came. I didn't realize the 2 prompts were what we were using, and I just made up my own title for a TED Talk.
No, that was a possibility. That was an option. Absolutely.
Oh, it was? Oh,
yes, absolutely.
I guess I didn't screw up. Okay.
Let's hear it. Go for it. Give us your TED Talk.
The funny part was I only wrote the title of it, and that's as far as I got. So I completely blew the whole, or halfway blew it. And my title was only Gecko Conversations, The Reality of Wall Crawlers. And that was it.
Yes.
And that's awesome. That's as far as I got.
That's wonderful. And now you get to go write it if you so choose.
Yes. Thank you.
It's great. That's great. Really. I know it takes a lot of bravery to kind of jump in, and we're doing this crazy things, and we're so pleased that you're participating and here. And this is what it is. It's awesome.
Thank you.
I feel I will try to remember next time I lead one of these jams to say, we don't really know what these exercises are about. We just made them up. So,
oh yeah, I think I didn't catch the last part that we're to continue writing the TED Talk. So I just sat there with my clever title and went,
good enough.
Wow, this is taking a while.
All right, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of our playwrights back. And Cat's still gone.
Oh my goodness. I'm sure we'll bug her. All right, while Kat is coming back, let's see where we are. Go ahead, Laura.
While we're waiting for Kat, I'll say that the playwrights are now what's going to happen is the playwrights are going to cast their plays and prepare for their world premieres, using each other to read their plays for the first time. So we're going to need a 10-minute intermission. And I think Laura Valpy is putting up some our websites and the title of our Facebook group, which everybody is invited to join. So if you'd like to take this time to check out our companies, make a donation, register for next month's right away, that is great. Or feel free to sit around and watch our backstage chaos, or run off and grab yourself some refreshments. Whatever you do, if you could be back at 38 minutes past whatever hour it is where you are, that would be great. You're going to hear 4 brand new plays with some suggestions that you are going to find very familiar. All right, go refresh. Refreshments are on the house. See you in a bit.
All right. Hello, writers. How did it go?
Good. Scary.
Yeah, I know. We went nuts there. Sorry. Oh, actually, I'm not sorry at all. It's going to be fun. So I think, Lisa, what would you like? Sorry, I've been like this the whole jam. Are you ready to cast?
Yeah, I'm ready to cast. I have a play, and Laura Valpy, will you play Sue Ann? Chris? Yep, Sue Ann. Okay. Chris, will you play Bobby? And Laura Livingston, will you be Mom?
Love to.
Cool.
All right, Ken. Ken's not back.
Ken's not back. All right.
I thought he was there. Didn't we see him before?
Yeah, I think he just went off momentarily.
All right. So in the meantime, Kat, are you prepared?
I am prepared. Could I have Lisa, would you read Emilia? Laura Valpy, would you read The Rose Bush? And Chris, would you read Quinn? He's 8 years old.
All right. I've just received a text from Ken saying he's got internet trouble.
Uh-oh.
Oh, man.
So let's go to Chris. What do you want?
I just emailed mine out and I put the cast in the email too. Lisa, if you could, it's going to be a stretch. If you could play Lisa, Laura Valpy, if you could play Denise, and Kat, if you could please be Susan. And I'll just give one note. It might seem a little weird and cheesy. I think, as if you can read this as honestly as possible, it's a little soap operatic, maybe a little in the beginning, but if you play it for reals, it's going to pay off later, I think, or it might just be awful. We'll see.
Do our best.
Yeah. Okay, great.
All right. Ken lost his internet and might not be able to come back. So we'll see how this goes. So we're coming back at 38 minutes past the hour. So we'll see you in a bit.
All right, 30. All right, great.
All right.
7 minutes. All right. Well, hopefully Ken will get it back if he can.
Yeah.
Or he should just, maybe if he has any ability to send us his play, then we'll read it without him being here.
Yeah. Maybe.
Oh,
that's so sad.
I know. How frustrating.
I'm on. I'm on.
Woo! Yay!
Who do you want in your play, Ken?
All right. This might happen again. If it does, just cover for me because sometimes it goes out and we don't get it back.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Hopefully this will all work out. If maybe I can read my play first, just in case.
Okay.
Sure.
All
And make
right,
sure to send your
so,
play. Yeah.
Chris reads Bruce and Batman. Kat reads Fred. Lisa reads Alfred. Valpy reads Jazz Hands. Livingston reads Commissioner. Livingston also reads Lackey number 1, and Lisa also reads Lackey number 2.
All right.
Oh my God, I hope Jazz Hands is a villain. Oh man.
I don't.
All right. Okay. I'll see you in a bit.
All right, great.
Right.
All right, so we're gonna start with Ken's play. Awesome. All right. Let's open that up.
Did everybody else cast?
Yes.
Yes,
Can you
does
tell me if
anybody
I'm
need
in?
Ken?
What plays am I in? Or if I'm not in any because I wasn't here for the casting, that's okay.
That's what happened.
All right, that's fine. I'm good.
Okay.
I'll just make snarky comments throughout during.
Like, I would have read that better.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Which play am I missing?
There's a little singing for you, Kat, and for Chris. So
Let me look it up.
do your best faux Gershwin tune.
Okay.
Never a dull moment. Oh, we had a really fun jam. We had started off with a pop test and ended with a TED talk. People wrote their own TED talks.
Nice, very nice.
Which was pretty fun. Yeah.
Lisa Saffron, it's good to see you again.
So great to see you. I heard that you were sick, and I'm so glad you're better.
I had COVID and I am better, so thank you.
Thank goodness.
Kat Coppett also.
I also had COVID, but I didn't have it bad. Did you have it bad, Ken?
I wasn't very sick, but it took me a long time to test negative. I was testing positive for about 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, that happened to Michael too, although he was very sick at the beginning. If he hadn't gotten he got the antiviral stuff that really like cleared it up in like half a day, but before that.
I got it too, but I wasn't so sick before I started taking it. So there wasn't marked improvement, but I wasn't ever really having bad symptoms.
Yeah.
That's
I
good.
wonder if that elongates how long it takes to get
What do you mean?
to test negative.
Taking it?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Or if it like your immune system doesn't clear it out as much because you have help.
So far,
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm like my sister and my brother have had it. I knock on head that I've not gotten it so far. Yeah, still around.
Yeah. I wish the local mandates would require masks again.
Yeah.
What are you doing at your theater, Kat? Are you requiring vaccines even?
No.
Can you
We
send
don't
it
do
directly
anything
to me,
anymore.
Kat?
I'll do my best.
Ken, is the Lesher still requiring masks?
No, the Lesher is no longer requiring masks or proof of vaccination. Oh, hey, and Kat, I don't know if you heard the local news sadness, but the Exit Theater is closing.
Yeah, I did. I saw it. I was just reading it to Michael last night. That's very sad. Yeah, no, it's really sad. We just planned out our whole fall season. And we have a new, and we're talking to our accountant people and trying to figure out like how do we, this whole thing.
Chris Harcum. Woo! Chris, there's a little bit of gentle singing for you as Batman.
Okay. No, 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 no. No lyrics.
Yeah.
All right, my clock says 8:37, so 1 more minute or less than a minute of our intermission, and then we'll call the audience back to join us.
What are some of the big Barry Manilow hits that might?
I write the songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the
Lisa, you're muted. You look like you're either singing or
Copacabana.
I was
Andy.
intentionally muted and singing.
Oh, got it. Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, Mandy, you came anything without bacon. Yeah.
Can't smile without you.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's the best one.
Can't smile without you. Yeah.
We got to sing it as our top hit for our 6th grade choir. That was our pop hit. The year before was You Light Up My Life.
He's the Ron Howard of pop music.
Hey, Kat, did you send your play? 'Cause I don't have it.
I did send my play, and why is everybody saying they don't have it? I hate email. I will send it again.
I see cats in a separate, not in the chain, if that is helpful to anybody.
Again in the chain.
Like it came in as a separate email, then you know what I mean.
I got cats.
Could you forward it to me, please?
I just sent it to you, Chris.
I just sent it again too, so.
Got it. Thank you, Kat.
You're welcome.
Are we back, Valps? Shall we be back?
I think we should be back.
All right.
Yes, it's
All right,
8:39.
everyone in the audience. All right. Hello, audience. Come back. Come back. Grab
Come
your
back, come back.
Join us back in the theater. While you're gathering, let me take this time to invite you to join, if you haven't already, our Facebook page right away afterwards. It's for people who've been a part of the right away performance experience and would like to continue any sort of conversation about the show, writing in general, keep up with what's happening with different people and their writing.
And audience members, we ask that you keep your camera off during the readings of the plays. And if you'd rather not see the names of all of us with our cameras off, then click on Hide Non-Video Participants. Here's how you do that. Move your cursor down to the lower left of your screen. Click on Video Options, then or settings, pardon me. And then you're going to scroll to hide non-video participants. If you click that, then you're only going to see the actors while they're reading, and it won't be messed up, but you know, that's up to you. At the end of each reading, we do invite you to pop on your screen again, turn your video on if you want to give a nice little round of applause to the playwrights, and then pop your video back off again for the next reading.
Okay.
Laura, Neil here. How do
Hey,
we
Neil.
place wagers?
Just go to Ken's website or our website.
That's
click
right.
Donate now.
PayPal donation.
Right. May we please ask EJ and Joelle to turn your videos off for the show, for the readings of the plays. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
And Laura Valpy, you have a list of the suggestions that everybody got. So why don't
Yeah.
you read that to remind us?
Absolutely. Yes. So
Great.
after Say that again?
I said to remind us of the recurring motifs we're going to have.
Yes, exactly. Our recurring motifs. The first suggestion we sent to the writers was a line of dialogue. Shh, nobody's listening. Then a stage direction. A character balances a large wheel of Gouda on their head. The third suggestion was a spotlight on the wheel of Gouda slowly fades to the strains of Barry Manilow. Next, another stage direction. A character pushes someone else. And finally, the play ends as perfume fills the stage. And tonight we're starting with Ken's play, I believe. So I guess we should jump right in. Ken, do you want to set up your play?
All right. So the name of my play is Batman and Fred is Fred Astaire. That was the suggestion I got at the beginning. I took Batman from Batman and Robin and Fred Astaire from Ginger and Fred, and I wrote Batman and Fred. So when you are not in the play, have your camera off, please. And when you enter, you can turn your camera on. I will read stage directions from off, and here we go. The scene opens in Wayne Manor. Bruce Wayne and Fred Astaire lounge in their easy chairs.
Finally, Fred. A night to relax without some super maniacal supervillain threatening Gotham City.
Indeed, Bruce. I could use the time to clean and press my cummerbund.
You know, Fred, when the Joker had me tied up, dangling over that pit of crocodiles, I really didn't believe that you'd be able to save me by distracting him with that Gershwin medley.
Holy top hat, Bruce. I've discovered that more supervillains than you think are distracted by a good song and dance.
Yes, a good musical number is a lost art, Fred.
Holy bow tie, Bruce, I'll say. Singing while doing a waltz isn't as easy as it looks.
Please, Fred, try doing it backwards in a cape.
Indeed, Bruce, indeed.
Enter Alfred.
It's the bat phone, sir.
Bruce answers the phone.
Yes, Commissioner.
Batman, I'm glad that you and Fred will not be getting that night off. I'm afraid you and Fred will not be getting that night off after all.
I'm listening.
There's a new supervillain threatening Gotham City. She calls herself Jazz Hands.
Say no more, Commissioner. We're on our way.
Blackout. Scene 2, the lair of Jazz Hands. Jazz Hands is present with her 2 lackeys.
And then, when everyone in Gotham City is seized with dance mania, I traipse in and steal the glittering diamond of Zang.
It's brilliant, your jazzness.
It's go, 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 gorgeous.
Yes, and after the diamond is mine, I shall use it to focus the light on my purple laser dance spotlight and kill Batman. Shh, nobody's listening.
Of course not, Jazzy. We're in a soundproof lair.
And so I can speak the truth without any fear of being overheard. Do you know why I wish to kill Batman, Lucky number 1?
No, I don't.
Lucky number 2?
No, ma'am.
It's because I am in love with him.
No, it isn't so.
No.
It is. My God, how I wish it were a lie. But it's not. I dream about him when I sleep. I think about him when I dance. I think about him when I dream. I dream about him when I think. I dance about him when I dance. Oh, but he does not love me. You see, I know this because... No, I shall not tell you.
Suddenly, the door burst open and Batman and Fred burst in.
Holy dance hall, Batman. It's a regular ballroom in here.
Stay focused, Fred. If I know my supervillains, she's counting on us being blinded by the lights and swept away by the pulsing music.
Well, Batman, you found my lair.
It was easy enough. Almost as if you led me to it.
Holy giant hole covered with twigs, Batman. It's a trap.
Yes, of course it is, Fred, but that's all right. I walked us into it on purpose.
But why?
Because I know who Jazz Hands is. Her name is Melissa Paltz, and she went to high school with Bruce Wayne.
Batman.
And Bruce Wayne fell madly in love with her.
He did?
Yes, he did.
Batman removes his mask.
Batman.
Bruce, is it true? Do you love me then?
Yes. But I had to put my feelings aside in order to pursue my deep-seated need to revenge the death of my parents. And then, when I met Fred at the USO dance hall demeaning himself for a nickel a dance, I adopted him as my ward. I had to care for him as well.
No, I can't let this happen.
He balances a large wheel of Gouda on his head.
Fred, what are you doing?
There's a Gouda on my head, mozzarella on my knee. But if you're in my bed, then that's okay with me.
What the hell is he doing?
He's singing a Gershwin song in order to distract us from our burning love for one another.
We mustn't let him.
Fight it. Fight it.
There's some blue cheese on my nose, on some cheddar in my ear. I hope you'll take this rose, though I know it's cheesy, dear.
My, that's clever.
Don't pay attention to the winning rhymes.
I can't help it.
Oh, God, he's tapping. He's tapping.
No, you ain't heard. I got the curd, and every day I'll bring you whey, and I will give you lots of Swiss if I can only have a kiss.
I must dance and lose track of every other thing I care about.
Me too. Me too.
Now's my chance to save Batman. But first, the final verse.
A spotlight on the Gouda, strains of Barry Manilow.
I have the cheese that makes the whole world eat. I have the cheese that smells so smelly feet. I have the cheese that melts like hot sticky glue. I have the cheese and I love you.
I'm lost. I'm completely lost.
I can't remember who I am, or who you are, or why I'm dressed in gold sequins.
Quick, Batman, follow me.
They exit. Blackout. Last seen back in Wayne Manor. Bruce and Fred.
And you say that both she and I were so benumbed and befuddled by your song that we lost our minds and you were able to lead her to the police and me back to Wayne Manor.
Holy dance break, Bruce, that's right.
I don't know how to thank you, Fred.
I was just doing my job, Bruce. And yet I can't help but wonder if I did the right thing.
Of course you did.
Did I? I could have left you there to be in love, to have the love that you've pushed away your entire life.
Fred, I was under her spell, but it wasn't me speaking. I could never give up my quest for revenge. I mean, justice for my parents.
But admit it, Bruce, when you were staring into her eyes, didn't you wish, if for only a moment, that you could have a life with her instead of this?
There's some feta on my face.
And Parmesan on my pate.
But of all the human race, you're the one who shares my fate.
Holy best friends forever, Batman.
Fred pushes Batman playfully. Batman pushes Fred back. They start to giggle and play fight until they're rolling around on the floor together. Enter Alfred.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Perfume fills the stage. Blackout. End of play.
Yay.
Awesome job, everybody. Thank you.
God. Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm so glad you got your internet connection.
Oh, I really wanted to share that one.
Oh my gosh. That
Very.
just brightens everything.
Thank you all very much.
So if we go back to our regularly scheduled readings, that would mean that Lisa Thompson is up next.
Yes, and I have cast Laura Valpy, Chris, and Laura Livingston. And I forgot one role, and that is Gouda. Kat, can you play Gouda? Do you have the script?
Yes. Give me 1 second.
Sure.
Oh, sorry. I know we all said we should always be downloading all of them. Let me just make sure I've got it.
Good.
This is play. This is play. I think I did download it, but let me just make sure I have it. Yep, got it.
All right, good. Gouda. So yeah, I'll be reading some Gouda related stage directions and maybe some others, but take it away. The world premiere of an unnamed play.
Bobby, you've arrived. Mom's up on the roof and she won't come down. I tried coaxing her, but she only frowned. I'm worried. You must see, it's almost nightfall and the shingles grow icy.
First thing I wonder is what happened, sis? Mom doesn't usually act like this.
Bobby, don't waste time thinking about the cause. Let's come up with a solution without pause.
I disagree, Sue-Ann. The cause may lead to a plan.
How can you practice philosophy while Mom's life hangs in the balance, literally?
As usual, you're too unhinged to deal with a crisis. You're on the fringe. Better to let me handle it. I'm cool under fire. I've got grit.
Shh, nobody's listening. While your ego is glistening, must you always make me feel like an uneducated eel?
Will you two stop?
I'm sorry that Bobby and I fight. Mom, are you all right?
I'm just grand. Will you put up the trampoline? Give me somewhere to land.
Mom, that's insane. Now just settle down. My God. Are you in a nightgown?
Really? Is this the time to ask while ahead we have this task?
The neighbors will see. My prospects for city council will flee.
I'm waiting for that trampoline to be put into place. Stop whining, Bobby, about saving face.
But why is this occurring? Why today? Did you do something to her? Did you somehow Mom betray?
Why accuse me, Bobby? Why not the gun lobby or the dairy farmers who should have stopped you from wearing that Gouda?
Well, you know very well I came from a rally for my campaign, my advocacy of cheese. I won't carry shame. Cheese farmers need love too. Vote for Bobby, Munster or Blue.
Okay. I guess it is my fault. I guess I'm upset Mom's gestalt. I told her some things I never said out loud. I should have kept them hidden, a shroud.
Well, it looks like you broke her, like a bust out in poker. So step aside while I fix it, you ninny, you nit.
Brat, you smell like a cat. A spotlight on the wheel of Goudas. Oh.
Yeah, spotlight on the wheel of Gouda slowly fades to the strains of Barry Manilow.
They think I'm silly, but they fight like goats. That is Billy. And they're grown-ups, for God's sake. It must make Mom's heart ache.
Mom, are you upset because I told you that I was 12 when I smoked my first cigarette? Or sad because I told you you hurt me when you told me that pink wasn't a good color for me?
Mom, are you angry that Sue-Ann and me fight like kids even though we're 33? Are you sad because my campaign duties keep me from coming over to call you cutie?
It's nothing to do with either of you. Just leave me here. I'll call you when I'm through. All you two can think is my acts have to do with you, with the two of you.
It's not us. You've got your own reasons to fuss. Are you sad because your life is so dull when it used to be so full?
Just come down and we'll hear you out. Don't stay up there and pout.
Drag over the trampoline now. Don't ask questions or how.
Sue-Ann pushes Bobby toward the trampoline.
Okay, your game we'll play.
We won't ask why, we'll comply.
Here I come. Not to pout, not to cry, not to protest or lament, but dear world, to fly, to fly, to fly.
The play ends as Mom's perfume fills the stage.
Yes. Wow. Yes. Well done. Oh my
that was
gosh.
hysterical.
That was awesome.
Just threw the couplet challenge on top of yourself because not enough was going on, huh?
And I
was
couldn't find my
amazing.
rhyming dictionary.
All right. Kat Coppett, you've got a play waiting for us.
I do.
Remind us of what you got and let's hear it.
Yes, what did I get? I asked for an object and a genre. I got ghost as the genre and tomato as the object. I think I got ghost and tomato. I assume ghost was the genre and tomato was the object and not the other way around. I have Laura, Velpy, and Lisa, and Quinn will enter at some point. So Quinn starts off stage. Yep, perfect. I will read stage directions as need be. And here we go. We are in a quaint garden on a sloping hill behind an English-style cottage. Amelia is gently pruning and fussing with her rose bushes and humming softly as she does.
There, my little lovelies. Isn't that better? All cleaned up and fresh. Ah, yes, now we can see your beautiful blooms, your beautiful color. The dead's gotta go, gotta clear the way for the fresh new buds. Eh? Always a fresh new bud waiting to burst forth.
A low moan is heard in the distance, like the soft groan of a ghost or the wind through the trees.
I know, it's hard to let go, but everything is temporary. To everything there is a season. A flower blooms, a rose fades, a child is born, a baby dies.
Just as she says this last bit, the shears slip and Amelia cuts a giant branch off the rose bush.
Ouch! For Christ's sake!
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I slipped. That wasn't supposed to happen.
Obviously. Well, sorry, you're not sorry makes no difference now. Babies are all on the ground.
A baby dies.
That's not supposed to happen.
I know. That's not supposed to happen. I'll get help.
Amelia drops the shears and starts running and runs to the edge of her garden, shouting.
Help! Help! Someone help us! I need to put the roses back. I need to reattach the roses.
Shh, nobody's listening.
No.
There's nothing to be done anyway.
No, I suppose not.
I suppose if you zoom out enough, it doesn't matter.
What do you mean it doesn't matter? Those are your babies. Your blossoms, your babies.
Yeah, well, every season all new blossoms anyway, with people too.
No, not true. Not new people every season.
Give or take. Every 100 years, all new people.
Every 100 years, all new people. Yes, I guess that's right.
Just then Quinn, Amelia's son, enters. He's 8 years old and is balancing a large wheel of Gouda on his head, a wheel much larger than his head. It makes him wobble and teeter.
Mama, look, I'm a mushroom. Don't I look like a mushroom?
What? Oh, yes, Quinn, dear, you do look like a little mushroom. Where did you?
Papa sent me with the cheese from the shop. He said if I was very good and you said I was, we could have a taste of the cheese for dinner and then maybe we could, you know what we used to do? Play a game and tell some stories after dinner.
Oh, Quinn, we'll see, okay?
I'm not a good boy?
You are a very good boy. I'm just not sure.
No. If I'm a good boy and I came all this way with the whole cheese, then the least you could do would be to have a nice dinner and a game and a story. It's been forever.
Quinn, stop. You don't understand.
I do. I do understand. Bella was our baby and she died. And now you don't love any of us anymore because she took all your love away from us and took it with her when she died.
Quinn throws the cheese on the ground and starts to cry. A spotlight shines on it as if to highlight Amelia's transgression. Amelia goes to touch Quinn, but he pulls away.
I just want it to be the way it used to be when you made us delicious dinners and we cuddled and sang and laughed.
The spotlight on the wheel of Gouda slowly fades and the strains of Barry Manilow grow louder. We hear a soft voice singing.
You know I can't smile without you. I can't smile without you. I can't laugh and I can't sing. I'm finding it hard to do anything. You see, I feel sad when you're sad. I feel glad when you're glad. If you only knew what I'm going through, I just can't smile without you.
Quinn and Amelia both realize it's the rose bush that's been singing.
Mama, is that?
You can hear it too?
What's that?
I'm not sure. It looks like a tomato.
Those were Bella's favorite. And we all love them best with Gouda cheese.
Yes, we did.
But how is it growing on a...
I don't know, Quinn. It's impossible.
To everything there is a season.
Quinn pushes his mom.
Get it! We should eat it. It's a gift from Bella, right? We should have a dinner and a game and a song, right? Right, Mama?
Yes, that's right, Quinn.
She walks over to Rosebush and gently picks the tomato off. As she does, the air is filled with the sweet, perfumed scent of roses. Quinn and Amelia breathe in deeply. Curtain.
Ooh.
Wow.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Very cool. Nicely done, Kat.
Wow.
Lovely reading. Thank you.
I was like layered.
Mhm.
I feel like that's going to be a thinker for a while.
That's brilliant.
Very Gouda.
Haunting? A little
Yeah.
bit haunting.
Haunting, I would say that.
Yeah.
We have one more play before we wrap up our evening. Before we hear that, I just want to say that we do tend to stick around if you'd like to and do a little bit of chatting afterwards, a little talk back. Any people in the jam can ask questions of people who are writing plays and vice versa, kind of like the two halves of the evening can reconnect there. So stick around afterwards. It usually lasts about 5 minutes or so. And now, Chris Harcum, you've got a play for us.
I do. I've created a thing calling Burning Back. And I've asked Lisa Gay Thompson to please read Lisa, Laura Valpy to read Denise, and Kat Coppett to read Susan, please. And I'll read stage direction.
Will you remind us what your suggestion was?
My suggestion was knitting.
Oh,
The thing that people didn't appreciate, the person
Right.
didn't
Yeah.
appreciate the other person's knitting abilities.
How long until she gets back?
Not sure. The traffic's going to be bad in this rain.
Okay, I'm just going to say this. Never mind.
What? Come on. You can tell me anything.
I know. That's one of the things I love about our friendship. Okay. I've always sensed that you and I have always understood each other better than even our spouses. I mean, we just get each other and it doesn't feel forced.
If you're suggesting what I think you're suggesting.
No. It's just, okay, maybe in a way I am. You've always been more than a friend to me. You're the person I think about when I think of what if? The big what if Like maybe you and I could be something more, something that I've never had.
I can't believe you're saying this to me.
I'm sorry.
Because I feel the same way. I've always felt this way.
I could sense that.
I'm glad you said this. It isn't just how you seem to really appreciate flavor profiles I use. How my eyes look in certain weather, or how much attention I put into my needlepoint. It's that you remember things that might seem trivial, but are actually important. I can't believe all of this is just gushing out of me.
No, please gush.
Denise, I
You don't have to say anything before you are ready.
I can't.
Go on. It's only me here. No one's listening.
At that moment, Susan enters with a wet bag of groceries.
Good Lord, I-35 was a nightmare. There must have been 3 accidents between here and the Whole Foods.
Hi, honey. I'm glad you made it home. Excuse me. I need to. I'll be right back.
Lisa exits.
Let me help you with those.
Thank you. These toasts don't last as long as paper bags most of the time. What are they made of? Sugar?
Huh, could be. Your hair got wet.
I look a fright.
No, you don't.
Before she comes back, I want you to know that I've been thinking about what you said last time, and I'm all in. We'll just figure out when to tell them.
Good.
Good.
Lisa returns.
Sorry about that. Oh, Denise, sit down. I'll help her with that.
Don't worry. We're almost done.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Denise puts a large wheel of Gouda on her head and walks around the kitchen.
Remember when you used to do this?
We did it at our wedding. It was a symbol of how we wouldn't take things too seriously, but always remain steady with one another. She's better at it than you are.
She's doing it longer than you did.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cause trouble.
No, keep going.
Please, we like watching you.
Yes.
Am I supposed to feel uncomfortable or grateful?
Yes.
Grateful, she means.
Yes. We'd never want you to feel uncomfortable.
It's like you're our wacky roommate in our sitcom in real life.
Yes, you're the one with personality. Well, we're kind of flat and boring.
Speak for yourself.
Hey.
Do I need to send you 2 to your corners?
We should clear the furniture and make a wrestling ring. Did you ever do that as a kid?
No.
Yes.
Of course you did.
Of course I did. Want me to kick your ass right now?
Yes. I mean, no, not mine. We also used to play hide and seek inside the house when it was raining when I was a kid.
There's a loud crash of thunder. The lights go out.
I'll grab the flashlight.
I'll turn on the radio.
Do people still do that?
We keep batteries here for emergencies.
That's as far as we go in terms of doomsday prepping.
Lisa points the flashlight at the Gouda, but the batteries are weak and the light fades. The radio comes on to Can't Smile Without You.
My first crush broke up with me, and I listened to this song over and over again.
I've never heard it before. Who is this?
Don't make me send you out into the rain without an umbrella.
She's serious.
I still don't know who this is.
You know what we also used to play when we were kids in the dark?
Post office.
Please don't say you don't know what that is.
It's where you go and you don't have a Prime account?
Out. Go out in the rain.
The lights cut back on.
We should play hide and seek. 1, 2, 3, not it.
Not it.
Okay, fine. How high should I count?
50.
100.
Yes, 100.
Fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Lisa and
6,
Susan look at Denise.
7.
We aren't
8,
sure what they're going to do.
9.
Susan
10,
shoves Lisa.
11.
Lisa goes and
12,
grabs a long rope.
13,
Susan gets a
14.
roll of duct tape. They both look at one another as if they aren't sure. For a moment, they might back out of it. Then they simultaneously change their minds. And to steal their nerves, Susan sprays a bit of perfume on herself and Lisa. They walk slowly towards Denise. The lights fade. End
39,
of play.
40, 41, 42,
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's
man.
nice. Wow. Racy friend.
That was
Oh.
cool.
Excellent, excellent. I love all these different interpretations of all of our prompts, although I'm a little chilled right now. Folks, just one last thing before we go. I would like to share on my screen a little video, if I can here, of folks who have helped us keep this going. I hope that's sharing right now. It's a list of people have donated to our little project here since May of 2020. I want to thank all these folks for their donations. They helped get Right Away started, and they help us keep it going. You know, as we're all getting back into the waters of the next normal, whatever that is, I like to stop and think about some good things that actually happened over the past 2+ years. The main one was, for me, the invention of live online performances. And here we are with Right Away. Started as a stopgap measure, and it's an ongoing theatrical event now. It's been an incubator for new plays and new collaborations. And we at Freestyle Rep and at Synergy Theater and all of us who've been writing here want to thank our regular collaborators, our appreciative audiences, and those who've been moved to support this constantly evolving endeavor. As long as you're here, we're going to be here. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much. I don't think we saw the video, but that's okay. Next time.
I saw it in my mind.
It was scrolling through our mind. So many people to thank. Absolutely. Okay, great. And our next show is Monday, September 19th. I believe
our guest will be Craig Pospisil, a very prolific playwright who many of us know and who has been on this show before. And it looks like do we have all of our playwrights back on screen to give them one last round of applause? Everybody,
come on back. There she is.
Yeah.
Yes, if everyone wants to pop on, just give everybody a nice big round of applause.
Anyone who's still got their camera off, Joelle's doing it virtually. Thank you, everybody.
Hi.
Hey, there's Nancy.
I know, I've been listening.
Nancy.
I've been listening. Thank you.
Awesome.
If you're sticking around, we're going to have a talk back for just a couple of minutes. And if you're leaving us, thank you so much for coming. We hope to see you next month.
Bye-bye.
That was great. Bye, all.
Bye-bye. Thanks for coming, Lisa.
It was a joy.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Awesome. Nice job, guys.
Yeah, those
right,
were
yeah.
awesome plays.
Yeah, absolutely.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
If you're staying for the talk back, pop your camera back on and let us know if you've got a question, or I'll put my chat back on so we can see if people have questions or comments.
And we know, Neil, we're not going to see your face, but feel free to say something if you want, Neil.
I have a question.
Neil's a man of mystery.
Yeah.
I have a question about, I talked briefly to Lisa about rewriting, and I don't know if you guys saw the posts we were doing, and that you probably didn't see emails, but today is Dorothy Parker's birthday and Ray Bradbury's birthday. And we found quotes about them that we were sharing with people. And Ray Bradbury, they both said, you know, just write. Ray Bradbury had next to his typewriter for like 25 years, don't think. And he said something about if you write enough, you're going to eventually, he says, quantity makes quality. And set the house on fire today, pour cold water on it tomorrow. But right now, don't do the pain of editing, rewrite later. And we did a lot of, and Dorothy Parker's big quote was, I hate writing, I love having written. And one of the things I like about Right Away is everybody except Laura Valpy and I possibly now has that wonderful glow of having written. And I was talking to Lisa a little bit about rewriting, because she's done quite a bit of that, of rewriting something that she wrote in Right Away. And I think you said something about how writing is preferable in some ways to improv because you can rewrite. Did you want to say anything more about that, Lisa, or am I putting you on the spot about?
Well, yeah, I guess I was just saying that writing, that improv, of course, has its, has its benefits, but then you were saying you leave it all on the stage and you just think back, I wish, maybe I wish I had done that or something, but with this, we get a chance to go back. But I think we were also talking about how Anne Lamott in Bird by Bird says, just write a crappy first draft. Like that's her big thing, is just have that as your actual goal, which is just let everything out. And I think that's our impulse here, is just let everything out and trust that it'll be something. Yeah.
I think I was saying that one of the things I appreciate about improv is when I do that crappy first draft, I don't have to see it again. I don't even have to accept that it happened. It's your memory, do people find it discouraging to go back and read stuff that is crappy and tweak it? Yeah, I can.
No, I'm all for rewriting, but I will say that when I write a play, I do not enjoy just writing spontaneously and see what happens. I feel I waste a good deal of time that way. And I'm a very big fan of outlining, a very detailed outline in advance, almost to the point where my outline might even be considered my first draft. I would write a play, but I would write an outline so that by the time I sat down and really started writing dialogue that I hope to keep in the play, I would have a very, very strong idea of where the play is going and how it's all worked out. Otherwise, I don't like that idea of you write for 2 weeks and then you realize, these 30 pages I can't use. Well, that's okay. I hate wasting stuff like that. So I don't like to do it.
And yet I would say you must write incredibly spontaneously, just the volume of stuff that came out tonight. I just don't imagine that a lot of plotting and planning has time to happen.
Yeah, well, thank you for that. I will say that unfortunately, that's not true. I approach improv and playwriting, unfortunately, very differently. And when I sit down to write a play, it does not just come pouring out. It is painstaking and hurtful. And I will sit there for hours and hours over 3 or 4 lines of dialogue. So I am not able to translate the improv thing to the playwriting thing.
Sometimes I'm sorry. I was just going to say that sometimes when I'm stuck and I'm writing a longer piece, a more deliberate piece than we're writing here, I'll open up an improv app and grab some suggestions and just stick a couple characters in a room and write. And sometimes that has nothing to do with the story, or it doesn't end up making the cut, but it does help just open up that part of me that can just be a little bit magical and not trying so hard. And, I think it's really something, maybe I even need it now.
I'll also say, even though you can't rewrite with improv, let's say there was this great joke that you didn't get to make in an improv show, you could just muscle it into the next show and pretend you made it up. So you can still. No, we don't do that.
I don't do a lot of most of the writing that I do when I'm not doing this. I improvise all the time. which is writing, right, like this, except I have to do it. The biggest difference here is that I'm not doing it collaboratively. That's the biggest difference, not that it's on paper versus said out loud, is I'm totally in control of the scene as opposed to co-creating it with someone else. That's the biggest difference I find. And there's something fun about that. I mean, you also don't have another partner to do half the work for you, but it's fun to, for a change, be improvising alone in writing. It's the only fiction writing I do. Most of the other writing I'm doing is nonfiction, so it's a little bit different. But in general, I love editing. So the great thing about a shitty first draft is then it's like you have a partner. It's like you have offers. And then once you have that, then you're just yes-anding yourself, however you're doing it. That feels way easier than staring at a blank page and having to create. So that's how I feel about it.
I feel like there's like an adrenaline rush or some kind of flow place that when you're writing and it's just kind of coming, that's something that the momentum of that can kind of take you, and it's it's like, oh, let me get back on the wave as much as I can when I can, and then when those waves are not there, I feel like that's when it's labored, kind of like what Ken was talking about there, where it's just where is this going to come from? But when it's kind of going, that's a great thing. And I feel like flow like that, I've found, can happen either in the writing process or in the editing process, but you just don't want the editor in the room too early. For me, if the editor comes into early drafts, for me, I always do by hand if it's something I care about. If it's something disposable, I do it, on Word doc or whatever. But I try to keep going, keep the pen going and that sort of thing. I do it by hand because then if I'm on a computer, it's too easy to look something up and then go down that wormhole and never come back again. So those are some of my tricks to kind of just get going. But in terms of if it's not, I don't know, if it to me, sometimes it's a matter of, am I in the way of the piece? Is the piece saying what it wants to say? Is the piece coming through me? Is the piece saying what it wants to say? Or am I trying to get in the way of it and trying to say something, or worse, trying to say what I think somebody else is going to want me to say or want it to say, or hear, write what I think they're going to want to hear. And is it enough? And am I enough? And all that stuff, all that stuff kind of gets in the way, the judgments. But if you're going back and if you're reading something, when a line doesn't work, like tonight was like the first reading of it, and there's a couple of lines that are like, it didn't work. It's on me to have put it on the paper the first time, so the first time the actor can pick it up and just do it. I think oftentimes, but sometimes it's a matter of, oh no, that's the first reading, and there's that bridge one has to go over to find what it is, and maybe it's the writing, and maybe it's in the discovery in the rehearsal or whatever it might be. But I think that there's a place where all that meets. I don't know. I guess there's probably like a third of things that people like that I don't know why, a third of things people find kind of indifferent, and a third of things people really hate, and so if you're writing to try and eliminate any of those thirds, you're going to kind of get yourself in a sticky situation. And that's
something I love about doing this show with the hearing the lines. I'm like, oh, that doesn't work. Something I love about doing this show is that you've written something and immediately you get to hear it. And I have found that it's like it just having it brought to life immediately is so cool. And some of the pieces, small handful of the pieces that I've written, whether in rehearsal or one of these shows, it's like that reading, that bringing it to life. It's like all of a sudden, oh, I just love those characters so much. I don't want to let them go, or, whereas without having it brought to life right away, just writing and writing, you can, who knows how far down some path or rabbit hole you go. And I don't know, but after coming back to rewrite after doing a show, I'm picturing you guys and I'm hearing your voices, and it's awesome. It's so helpful. It's so great.
I have to say, in the jam, I was another quote of Laura Valpy and I had already decided that we wanted our jam to be like these unrelated things crashing against each other, so that people were so having to deal with these, it's like short form improv. You're so having to deal with the randomness of the game that something pops out of you with it. You don't have time to think. And it was interesting to me that when I was putting out emails and stuff with quotes, Ray Bradbury says that, daydream as you're waking up when random things are crashing around in your brain, and see what is coming out that's unexpected and not what other people would have written. But while people were in the jam, some of these things, like Laura Valpy would say a line of dialogue and they would write the stage direction, and they were so random. And it being everything we did tonight was theatrical as opposed to writing paragraphs. It was all stage directions and dialogue. Theater being so much subtext that as these random things were being read, my brain kept struggling to knit it together or to understand why that happened. Or I thought, like, I wonder what it is like when if somebody takes one of these completely off the wall things and rewrites it to fill in why and the connective tissue, and that it seems like always there is that in theater. I mean, we do that as actors. And there's never a single play any of us have ever done that we haven't gone, why does my character say that? Where am I coming from? What, just always filling in what is not written, because it's not all written in a play. I feel we interrupted you, Chris, at one point. You were going to say.
Oh, that's fine. Somebody needed.
I'm sorry.
You kept talking and then you realize, oh my God, I've been talking for a really long, like a job interview. I was doing a job interview with you.
I wonder, back to the rewriting or outlining or writing spontaneously, I wonder if that aligns at all with a writer's preference for being motivated by a story idea or the characters. Like, I'm very story oriented. So for me, it's all about working out the intricacies of the plot. But I could see if I was more character centered, it would be fun, like Lisa said, to put the characters in a room together and let them develop. So I wonder if other people feel that as well.
I'm writing a play right now that's the Hitchcockian, and I told Ken the plot already, but it's this very complicated plot, and it's a play I'm writing in 10 minutes. And so for that one, I'm having to be very structure oriented, and I heard something recently about writing 10-minute plays. Steve Yucky, I think is his name. Anyway, he says, write the first couple of pages, get your characters established. You've got to have a relationship with, people that can drive this thing. And then jump to page 7 or 8, where your climax occurs, and write that. Then go back and fill the space. And don't write, and then write the denouement at the end, because you don't want to be writing towards that resolution, because the resolution is where the conflict's already gone. So you got to write to the conflict, and then.
But how do you know? Like, you would have to have the story plotted out then, right? How do you know? Like, how could you skip 8 pages if you don't know where you want to go?
Right. In this case, I do. And that's what I'm trying. I'm trying it. It's my first time trying it.
I had a college writing professor who spoke about the hot spots. He said, like, if you have an idea for a play, he goes, there's certain scenes that you see that are burning in you to write. And even if you don't know where they fit in, just start by writing those. And he called them the hot spots. So sit down and write the hot spots.
I think that sounds fun. That
Yeah,
sounds
his
like
house burned down in '89. So it's the whole.
Well, what I like about that is if, you know, if you have a passion or you're inspired, literally inspired to do something, like write those, because even if they end up having to be changed, like that's what's inspiring you. So once you have those, like, oh, what's that telling me about these characters or about this conflict, or like, and then you can, how do I get there, or what comes, or because of that, what else? That makes sense.
Yeah.
cool. I feel like it's wrap up time. Yeah.
I told everyone, oh, it'll be 5 minutes.
I
You
know.
know, stick around, it'll be 5 minutes. But this was really fun and interesting.
And welcome, Chris Harcum. You were awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So thank you for having me. This was just really a wonderful experience. Such a nice bunch of people, so smart and creative and fun and wonderful.
Aw.
Just want to see all of your faces.
Back to you.
Thank you.
Well, I do art, and this is very, all your ideas were really helpful for painting and art and drawing. They're directly
Nice.
applicable. So thank you.
Oh, nice.
It was great to have you here, Nancy. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for.
thank you.
Tell
Yeah.
your-
Okay. Bye.
The next one's on the 19th.
Yeah.
Everyone, have a great month.
Bye.
Have a great
Bye-bye.
night.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Bye.